The fact that they were able to impact the student athletes and the staff that the way they did was more important to me in terms of providing that information to student athletes throughout the country, right, than anything else we were speaking about that day. Last year when Dan came on campus, we had 2 different student athlete presentations and then an entire staff and coach presentation. And I will say in 23, 24 years of having been in this industry on this campus, it was one of the most impactful presentations we had. There were some student athletes that stuck around to thank Dan personally for his honesty, his transparency, and the way he presented his life story and the impact he had on student athletes. And even if it wasn't just, hey, this is impactful to me, maybe somebody they know. Most of the presentations we have, most of the individuals that come in are very data-driven, very metric-based. This is what it looks like in society. This is what it looks like for college student athletes. Now, Epic does provide those numbers as well, but at the end of the day, you're just looking at a graph or a chart or a number on a screen. And everyone's aspect is always, that'll never happen to me. So to have an actual story, a narrative, a picture painted for you that shows if you don't take this seriously, if you aren't cognizant of what can happen when that slope hits and you start to slide down it, or your friend starts to slide down it and you don't intervene, this is where the end game is. This is the result.
This time we're going to be talking with the incoming freshman, who we didn't reach last time we were here, to talk about gambling harm prevention and education. Steve Corder, the assistant AD, asked us to come back because he sees this as a massive education point that needs to be addressed with all student athletes. He wants to make sure that anyone touching athletics within the university system is getting some education on the potential harm for gambling addiction, threats that student athletes might face, as well as resources that would be available.
I took a lot more away from it than I thought I would have. I just really related with his story because just the work shift that he's gone through, and it's like you've got to reach a low before you can reach a high, and that you have to realize and recognize your own issues and want to do it for the right reason, want to change for the right reason. So that was very influential.
I think having someone have a personal story really changes the whole perspective of everything, since you get the first-hand experience. Just hearing stats really doesn't open your eyes as much as a personal story does. Just having a person in front of me always has helped me. I've never been one for textbooks, and listening to someone's voice, and especially the way that he came at it, with his views and everything, really changed how I looked at it.
After Epic was here for 2 days last year, the very next opportunity I had to provide their information to our compliance peer group within the Horizon League, I indicated to them that everybody should look into getting this company on campus. The fact that they were able to impact the student athletes and the staff that the way they did was more important to me in terms of providing that information to student athletes throughout the country than anything else we were speaking about that day.